Hello and welcome to Tourismus Namibia. I am your host, Glenora Shipura. Today we have an exciting lineup covering everything from the latest developments in Etosha National Park's road improvements to updates from the Keetmanshoop expo and some inspiring efforts for seabird conservation. Later we'll take you to the stunning destinations like the Tsauchab and the Ai-Ais before diving into innovative green hydrogen projects that promise a greener future for Luderets. Stay tuned for all these and more on Tourismus Namibia. Starting us off in our topics, tour operators and car rental companies are growing increasingly frustrated with ongoing promises about Etosha National Park's poor road conditions. Many are now announcing that they will no longer use their vehicles in Etosha due to the damage caused by the roads. The Tourism Ministry has repeatedly assured the public that the roads would be improved by the end of this year, with the latest commitment targeting upgrades before the festive season. This week, the ministry reiterated its commitment to addressing Etosha's road conditions as a priority and has dispatched 3 graders to work on key routes, namely Halali to Namutoni, Okakweyo to Halali, and Namutoni to King Nehale Gate. This work is expected to be completed in the next 2 weeks, offering a temporary solution to improve driving conditions. Getting into our next topic, the Keetmanshoop Agricultural, Industrial and Tourism Expo, also known as KT, saw 166 exhibitors from various sectors participate this week, with around 1,000 visitors expected to attend. This annual event, dating back to 1956, is now 68 years strong and carries this year's theme, Tourism and Green Investment for Inclusive Economic Development. Agriculture Minister Karl Schleitwind opened the expo on Wednesday, expressing hope that the event will offer valuable opportunities for small and medium enterprises, local vendors of traditional products, and other businesses to showcase their talent and offerings. In the last of our topics, in collaboration with the Fisheries Ministry, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and the Namibia Nature Foundation, NNF, the Namibian Foundation for the Conservation of Seabirds, has successfully installed 25 artificial nesting boxes on Possession Island. The NNF explained that natural nesting sites are becoming increasingly scarce due to guano removal and erosion. So these artificial nests are essential for enhancing breeding success for African penguins. Used worldwide for penguin species like the Humboldt, Galapagos, and little penguins in Australia and New Zealand, these nests not only provide a better protection from predators, but also improve the nesting environment for penguins, helping conserve these incredible seabirds. That concludes our topics. Next up is destinations. Starting us off in destinations, we're at the Tsauchab River Camp, located just 70 kilometers from the Sesrium Canyon and 40 kilometers from the Namib Naukluft Park. Tsauchab River Camp offers an incredible escape into Namibia's raw natural beauty. Here are some activities that make this place even more remarkable. You can do the nature trails, explore the various hiking trails around the camp, which wind through ancient riverbeds and fascinating rock formations, revealing breathtaking views of the surrounding mountains. One of my favorites is the rock art tours. The Tsauchab is home to ancient sand rock art. Guided tours give visitors a unique opportunity to learn about Namibia's rich cultural history and experience firsthand the ancient art left by the San people. Stargazing, another favorite of mine. The remote location of the Tsauchab away from city lights makes it one of the best places for stargazing in Namibia. Clear desert skies at night reveal dazzling displays of constellations, with the Milky Way bright and visible. Another thing that you can also do is cave exploration. Visitors can explore caves filled with interesting geological formations, creating a thrilling experience for the adventurous at heart. Let's take a look at this video on this wonderful Tsauchab River Camp.
Hidden alongside the banks of the peaceful Tsauchab River lies a camping experience like no other. Welcome to the Tsauchab River Camp, where adventure and tranquility harmonizes in a pristine Namibian landscape. With 14 exclusive campsites spread over an impressive 15 kilometers, Tsauchab River Camp offers each visitor a secluded and intimate camping experience. At Tsauchab, it's just you, nature, and the river's soft whispers. Each campsite here is designed to provide both comfort and privacy. You'll have your own private bathroom, complete with hot water, and for a special touch, each campsite features an outdoor tree shower, heated and ready to provide an unforgettable bathing experience in nature, alongside a flushing bush toilet with a view. And when you're ready to break away from your campsite, Tsauchab River Camp offers a range of different facilities to enhance your stay. Dive into our inviting swimming pool and cool off. Grab a bite at our cozy on-site restaurant or connect to the world with our Wi-Fi services. Every site comes equipped with a barbecue facility, making it easy to enjoy a true outdoor dining experience under the stars. With private ablutions, reliable hot and cold water, and a scenic, rustic atmosphere, Tsauchab River Camp offers a camping experience unlike any other. Each morning here at the Tsauchab River Camp is a gift. As the sun rises, you're greeted by the gentle sounds of the river and the vibrant bird life thriving along its banks. It's a perfect way to wake up, surrounded by the untouched beauty of Namibia.
Next up, we have the Ai-Ais as a lodge and a camping resort nestled by the Fish River Canyon, ideal for nature enthusiasts seeking relaxations. Here's what you can enjoy. You can enjoy the hot spring soak, the mineral-rich hot springs from which Ai-Ais gets its name, meaning burning water in the Nama language, is perfect for relaxation, and it's said to ease aching muscles and soothe the skin. If you have a lot of tension, then the hot spring is a good solution for that. Moving over, you can do the Fish River Canyon hike. For avid hikers, Ai-Ais serves as a starting or ending point for the legendary Fish River Canyon hike, a multi-day trail that traverses one of the world's largest canyons. Another thing you can do is canyon lookout points. Day hikes or scenic drives to the canyon's edges provide awe-inspiring views. Sunrise and sunset views over the canyon offer spectacular photography opportunities for the people who just love to come from a place with beautiful pictures. And wildlife spotting, if that's your thing, the area is home to various wildlife, including kudu, springbok, and even occasional baboons, making for interesting sighting around the camp. Now, Wildlife Resorts spokesperson Nelson Ashipala joins us to share more about the resort and the current hiking season, offering valuable insights for visitors ready to explore this beautiful region. Let's take a look.
So, welcome to Ai-Ais. Ai-Ais is a lodge found. It's found in the southern part of Namibia. Perhaps it's one of our most southern lodge. On top of that, we also have world-class camp, but it's a campsite. So Ai-Ais is quite popular amongst throngs of tourists, mostly South African tourists. Importantly, because it's closer to the border with South Africa, with our neighbors. But then most importantly, because of the fact that it's the warm springs of it have its believed healing powers. So for one to be able to swim in a natural hot spring is, I think, it's quite amazing and so forth. So Ai-Ais is also a lodge that is popular mostly during hiking seasons. Most importantly because, you know, after one has exited the Fish River Canyon, it is the first spot that you'll come out in. It's the first spot where one can rest and have a beer and talk about how good the experience was. So for this year, the hiking season was actually, it went quite well. The fact that we were able to navigate the drought situation by putting in water marshals, you know, who were able to assist most of our clients who perhaps, if we couldn't have that idea, if we wouldn't have water marshals, I think we would have cancelled, or we could have called for the cancellations of the hiking season. So as we went on to assess, as time went, you know, clients kept on reminding us of how we can fix and where we should fix. So this is some of the things which we have done as we went on. So yeah, that's the long and short of the Fish River, of the Namib, of the Ai-Ais lodge. So it's quite popular amongst Namibians, amongst South Africans mostly, and amongst those who want to come and relax and have a good time. And sometimes also just those who have dreams of completing the Fish River Canyon. It's also where they go through and so.
So one of the biggest issues that we face around this area is also drought. Drought means that the Orange River is not flowing as much as we would have wanted it to. So this being an adventure campsite means that our clients cannot come and do lots of canoeing. Sometimes we get clients that want to do the 7-day Orange River canoeing lifestyle, but then we aren't experiencing that as much as we wanted to. So drought has affected all of us. Like I said, it's not only Ai-Ais. Drought has also affected Boerplatz. So those is one of the issues which we have. So but other than that, some of the issues like robberies that we used to experience mostly from our clients who come to us from South Africa, you know, news was getting out that Boerplatz was becoming a concern, and we got to address it. I think those ones we've addressed them, but as time goes, we'll try to see whether there's improvements. But with drought, it's terrible.
What is your last word?
I think my last word is just for Namibia. These facilities with low prices that allows for Namibians to experience this. And with issues like the Namib Leisure cards, we want Namibians to come out, you know, to come out in numbers. Especially schools, especially groups, corporate companies, team building. We want you to come and experience this, because remember, NWR is not built for on top of it having to make profit, it also has to give back to the community. This is us having to experience. This is our facilities. So I think that's the biggest that we have.
All right, that concludes our destinations, but do not go away, because up next is To the Point. Getting to the point, green hydrogen is seen as a transformative force for Ludwig's and Hydrogen Energy. A leading Namibian developer is spearheading this exciting shift. They have ambitious plans to establish a multi-billion-dollar industry in the Tsauchab National Park while prioritizing the protection of the area's fragile biodiversity. Hydrogen's project highlights the potential of green energy development to benefit both the environment and the economy, setting a promising example for sustainable growth. Let's take a look.
Ludwig is an historic and incredibly beautiful harbour town in the south of Namibia, right where the ancient Namib Desert meets the mighty Atlantic Ocean. Locals know that it lies like a diamond glittering in the sand, filled with the promise of rest, relaxation, and a unique experience for tourists who visit. The sleepy coastal town is waking up with huge developments on the horizon, including offshore oil discoveries and natural gas developments. Green hydrogen also dominates the future of Lüderitz, and the leading local developers, Hyphen Hydrogen Energy, were happy to share their plans to protect the fragile biodiversity in the Tsauchab National Park while establishing a multi-billion-dollar new industry there.
Entered into the project area. So the project area is roughly 100 kilometers wide by 50 kilometers, and if it's a big rectangle like this, we've come in on the top and we get about 8 kilometers down into the 50 kilometer wide area. And what we're looking at here is the proposed location for the solar site. And roughly the solar site's about 50 square kilometers, which sounds like a lot, but we've been driving for 2 hours. And roughly 50 square kilometers is roughly 7 kilometers by 7 kilometers, which if you look here, it's roughly the distance from here to that rocky hill, and then a similar distance going out that way. So if you think like a square, 7 kilometers by 7 kilometers on all four sides, roughly. That's around 50 square kilometers. So it may sound very big, but in this area, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny portion of a very big area. And the reason why we've chosen this area is because, as you can see, it's very, very flat. But the main reason why we've chosen this area, if you look at it, you can see from a biodiversity perspective, it's low biodiversity importance. So when you go onto the hills, and other certain areas in the park we will show you later, you'll see those areas have a lot of biodiversity from a plant perspective, but this area is very neutral from a biodiversity perspective. So we want to have as little impact as possible, and by far the solar site has the most impact because of its size. So it's around half the footprint of the entire project is the solar site.
While you are there, just to highlight, what are you doing, what is being done to make sure that there is environmental compliance and making sure that you don't do much damage to the environment?
Yeah, so that's a short question with a very long answer. I think if you go back to the principles of what we're trying to do, is environmental protection is set out in Namibia's constitution, and Namibia has a environmental compliance process that we will comply with. In addition to that, there's international best practice. So we will comply, and we've always said from the very beginning of the project, we will comply and develop the project in alignment with international best practice. So it's not just Namibia's rules, it's the rules of how the world understands these projects need to be done on a socially and environmentally responsible basis. So that's something called the Equator Principles, which are done by an organization called the International Finance Corporation. And the one that we're particularly interested in is something called Performance Standard 6, which deals with environmentally responsible investment. So every single decision that we make from an engineering perspective is centered around how do we design the project to reduce the environmental footprint in terms of the physical amount of infrastructure, make it as small as humanly possible, and then only place infrastructure in those areas which have the least environmental importance. So as you can see, this area here is not very biodiversity important. When you go to other areas of the park, you'll see it is very high biodiversity importance, and we avoid those areas completely. We've got areas that are complete no-go areas that we've identified as highly sensitive. But this is a very, very, very big area, and effectively in this park of 22,000 square kilometers, and certain estimates of the size of the park is 26,000 square kilometers. Roughly our footprint is 0.5%. And we think we can, and of that 0.5%, we think we can place virtually all that 0.5% in the least environmentally important part of the park. So we've been very, very deliberate. When we place infrastructure, it's about placing it, it's around really understanding the condition of the ground, not from an office in Windhoek or from a satellite image, but by sending specialists onto the ground to fundamentally understand the condition on the ground.
There are allegations that your work was here to disturb the nature of things. And also that you are sitting up here to export, nothing is being done for the local economy.
Well, I'd say from environmental work, that process needs to be completed. We've spent 18 months doing environmental studies just to prepare to do an environmental study. So we're taking 18 months just on planning. So, because Namibia is just an incredible place, you need a couple things to make these projects work. I think first and foremost, you need a country that has the vision to enact policies to enable a project and an industry like this to be established. And Namibia is really a world leader amongst countries looking to set itself up to develop green hydrogen projects. And then what goes hand in hand with that is the quality of the resource. So if you threw a dart at a map and it hit this exact place we're standing on now, this is the third best place on the entire planet to make green hydrogen if you look at the quality of the wind and the solar resource to make green hydrogen.
My name is Richie Mutetera. I am the Community Relationship Manager for IFN as well as Environmental Officer for IFN.
Why the cast?
Just to give context where we are in one of the two blocks of IFN, which is called Springbok. So the particular area where we stand is the area where we call the buffer zone, the area that is off-limits for construction. In terms of the baseline studies that we have done, we found some species of importance in this area. So one of those key species is one that we found here that is called Ai-Ais namibiensis. It's a species that is endemic to Namibia. It's very restricted range. So for that, we cannot construct in this area. This is an area, not only that, but we find species that are of importance for this area, or this park and our hotspot in terms of weather. There is one particular plant that we are studying called Etosha Namibiensis. It's also a plant that is very restricted to this particular area. And there is understanding and a correlation that we are still trying to understand that the fountain that we check in front is related somehow to the importance of some of the species. So we still are trying to understand that. And we will only understand that with environmental, social impact assessment of the study. No, this is very short. We are currently at the Keetmanshoop spring, some call it a fountain. This is basically the center of the no-go area for IFN. This area, this spring is understood to determine most of the biodiversity about 25-kilometer radius. So this is a very key area for animals as well. The next 20-30 kilometers, there's no other water source apart from here.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you have enjoyed this journey across Namibia, from wildlife conservation efforts and rural development expos to breathtaking destinations and green energy innovations. Stay tuned to Tourismus Namibia for more stories that connects us with the natural beauty of Namibia. From me, Glenora Shipura, until next time.